From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max, of course, at my bar where everybody is welcome to have a seat. Brought to you by our good friends at Dasher and at YOLO Rum. Client Focus Media is here. Fusion IRX is here. We're going to talk a little manufacturing, a little media, a little residential real estate, and a retired police officer turned YouTuber. Hey, man, you never know who's going to show up at the bar, so let's say hello to the panel. Rory Comiskey is back. Hey, Rory, from Fusion IRX. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you again, and always a pleasure. What's the latest with you guys, man? And by the way, when you guys see a project, like when does Fusion get involved in the process? You from the very beginning, or is there a certain step that you jump in?
I like to be involved in site selection.
Okay.
Before we, I work with a lot of municipalities and different organizations actually picking out spots, which is kind of fun, but as early as possible.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that a gift, finding the right site? Or is it pretty...
It's, you know what? It's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah?
It's very engaging. You get to work with some really cool people. You see a lot of motivated people. So, yeah, it's really good.
Are you guys using drones now into the mix? Or, are you flying
We have a whole group that does that. We have a whole group that does that, actually.
I bet. Well, one of our guests does that, too. We'll talk to him, but great to have you here. Brian Sexton's here. Brian, Focus Media. How are you, buddy?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's your first week here at CFM, man?
It's a little different than standing in a locker room with a microphone asking questions, right? It's a little different. It's a little more challenging intellectually.
Yeah.
I was born for this.
And nobody will get mad at you if you say anything critical,
Well, I haven't
right?
said the wrong thing yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, great to have you, man, a part of the panel as well. Rick Farmer's back from the Listing Edge.
Always a pleasure.
How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Remind the audience what you're up to, brother.
We do real estate photography, videography, 3D tour, anything that you need to market a property. But then we also do that for commercial.
Okay.
So we'll scan buildings and measure for floor plans and different things like that for remodeling or whatever they've got to do.
And the Listing Edge, that's your company.
That's my
right? So
company,
you're the entrepreneur, you're the operator, you're all of it.
That's me.
Marketer.
Yep. I'm
showing up at the bar.
I'm the one you got to complain to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the biggest challenge for you these days as you're building your business?
It's just, business has been kind of spotty since COVID, because the real estate market's been kind of up and down.
Sure.
Rates go up, they come down, people buy, people don't buy. The consistency or the lack of consistency has been the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I bet. Well, great to have you here. Hopefully, being on here will give you a little more business.
Always fun to be here.
Absolutely. Rick Makanji is here from Rainbow Restoration.
Yeah, great to be here.
All right, what are we talking? We're talking fire, we're talking flooding. You mentioned mold off air.
Mold as well, that's in the restoration industry, that's kind of the three core services that we're well known for, emergency services primarily, but there's other services, also that we do more towards, the realtor and property management world, which are things like odor control, tobacco, marijuana is becoming a more bigger issue.
Sure.
Any type of, I don't know what to do or who to call.
Yeah.
Be a restoration.
When with mold, because that's very, very damn. We had a friend of a friend pass away from mold. Yeah, in their lungs, because that's a very extreme. But when are the signs, like other than maybe seeing some mildew, or what are for people out there that are concerned about that?
So that's an extreme, unfortunate case.
No doubt.
That's what we always look to try to avoid. But really, for the most people, the telltale signs. It's not always what you see. It's really what you smell.
Okay.
Once you smell that musty odor, that's likely a living mold behind the walls and crevices. You can't see it, and you got to take it seriously.
Great. Well, thanks for that tip. Appreciate that. Hal Horton is here. Hey, Hal.
Hey,
how are you? Retired law enforcement, current YouTuber.
Correct.
All right. Tell us about your law enforcement career real quick.
I started out Air Force Security Police.
Okay.
And when I came back home, went to the Police Academy of St. Augustine, worked at the Sheriff's Department, and I switched over to corrections, went up to the prison.
Okay.
After a few years there, went back to college, got a couple more degrees as a systems engineer, went to work in Afghanistan as a satellite engineer.
Wow.
Came back home, went back to the DOC as a systems analyst, and then took an early retirement in 2020.
Nice. And now you're a YouTube sensation, I'm told.
Sensation.
Working on it.
Yeah. My YouTube channel, I built a new house, so I started the channel just following that. And once it was done, I started doing cooking videos. Got my great cook at church and all the events there. And so it's for people who need to cook a lot of good food for their family, but they don't really have cooking skills and they don't really have a lot of money.
Yep.
My recipes are, this is the easy way of doing things that will take care of your kids and
Great.
break the budget.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if Tom invited you off his bar and into his kitchen, what would you make?
Oh, good.
Roasted pork, field peas with rice and bacon. That's my go-to.
I like that. How about a dessert? Are you a dessert guy at all?
Not so much. I don't really do baking. My sister's in town. She'll usually come in and get on the channel and do some baking stuff.
Okay.
But I do like banana pudding.
What's the name of your channel so everyone can
Hal
hear?
Horton's World.
Hal Horton's World, and we're just living in it.
Well, if you're gonna cook for Tom, you invite me over. I'd make a really mean salted caramel custard.
Oh, there we
Happy
go.
to make that.
I'll provide the drinks. There you go.
Okay.
Just get the calendars out.
Exactly. Let's do it.
So, thanks, fellas, for being
smell a
here.
cookout in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, hell, we will always have a cookout here on the Horse's Mouth. Make sure you check out all their great profiles, this conversation, and many, many others at dailynewsnetwork.com. Until next time, y'all be safe out there and stay cool. Be cool right here. We'll see you next time right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The coach should be going to bed at night thinking about the athlete and how they're going to help that athlete improve. They shouldn't be worrying about how am I going to quantify their improvement, or am I going to have to keep up with all this information? Those things that are kind of background to the coach focusing there on the athlete. And so what Dasher does is it takes all those side things away, allowing the coach to focus then on the athlete.